We're gonna open this episode at the Temple of Udon, sitting nice and comfy inside the walls of Nox Hollow. Cock, you find yourself sitting in the mostly empty temple. There is no sermon today. However, there are two female Githyanki priests singing/humming some sort of religious tune in the front of the church. You were told last time that Drigi is here somewhere. You assume in the back office, and she has spent her whole day learning the teachings of Udon. What would you like to do? Last time we ended with all of you guys split up again, so just apologies in advance. Who knows how this is going to play out.
I was with Reinhardt. I wasn't completely split up.
Yeah, which is great, because he's here today. Yep. This is going well. What would you like to do, Cock? Where was your head at last time? You've the past few days have been quite chaotic for your turtle body, your turtle mind. You've died a few times. You've had visions that you can't explain. You've had encounters with voices in your head, and all the while, this connection with the one true Lord, the anomaly, at points has felt strained, and yet now you almost feel as close to it as you've ever been as you sit in the back of the church of the Temple of Udon.
Alright, since I know that Drigi's fine, I'm gonna get up and leave.
Alright, you take a step out of the temple. As you walk outside, you see the shrubbery out front. You see like a child elf running around, chasing after like a mouse creature that is completely naked, no fur, and it like stops for a second, looks at you, sniffs towards your boot, or I don't know, you probably don't have boots, and then just runs off, and the kid chases after it, trying not to make eye contact with you. You can see out in front of you is the trade post that is still having repairs done. It's about... The sun hasn't set yet, but the Hydros is definitely beginning to set, and people are heading back to their homes, preparing for nighttime, the curfew that has been set.
About how long do I have until curfew?
I don't think you know what time curfew is. You haven't been told, but
okay.
You can see people going back now, but you're not quite sure. You could go up and ask somebody.
Okay, then I'll go over to the market and see if people need help over there with cleaning things before I go back home.
Okay. You head over to the marketplace. You see a few people. You see the gnome that has just been popping up every now and again, talking when he's not been spoken to. You see a human man selling jewelry. You see a Goliath man selling like basic weapons. And then there's like a potion salesman. They don't seem to be packing up their things quite yet.
I'll go over to the potion salesman. Oh, what would they be?
Alright, you approach Timblybib's Potions Emporium.
Look at this dude.
Look at this fucking dork over here. Yeah, he sees you walking up. Hello, are you here to purchase a potion? Do you need potions? Surely your shell is protection enough.
Not when I'm having tons of gay sex.
Wow.
What do you have?
Well, what do you need? I've got all kinds of things. I also brew things custom if that's what you require. However, that's a bit more expensive.
Of course.
Nothing is too tough for Timblybibs as long as it is in the bounds of what is actually possible.
As long as it isn't too tough for me.
As long as I can do it, I can do it. He rubs his hands together. Yeah, he's got like nice clothing too. He's quite a wealthy merchant. He's got like a fine mustache. Tell me, turtle friend, what do you require?
I'm looking for something with, how do I put this? Pizzazz. Something out of the ordinary.
Oh, well. Something to brighten your day up a bit.
Perhaps, yes. Do you have something that could do?
Yes, I do. What is your price range? Because I have quite a few things that might do that.
I could go up to 10, maybe 15 gold.
Okay. I do have a potion that will turn your skin into sort of a disco ball sort of design, but it only lasts for about an hour. There's also other potions, potions of I could do for less, but it would be a random effect.
How much are the random effects?
Ooh, 2 gold for,
Ooh.
and yes, and those will only last about an hour themselves, but they are quite exciting. The kids love them. The parents hate them.
Both good things.
Yes. Would you like one of those?
Could I get 3 of the random effect potions? That sounds fun.
Yes.
That's something I'd be into.
These are great at parties.
Ah, yes, parties.
Yes.
And that is where they will be being used.
Oh, good.
I will give him 6 gold.
All right, you hand him 6 gold. He provides you with these potions that are small glass vials, but you can see the liquid inside is constantly, sort of slowly changing its color.
Fantastic.
Oh, I have to say I'm quite interested in what that effect could be.
Ooh. Well, if I run into you again after I use them, I will keep you posted.
Yes, well, yes. A friend of Timbley is a friend of Timbley, I always say.
Ah, fantastic.
That's the
Well, good
Bibbs
day.
family way. Okay, bye. He talks to himself.
Looked up, I'm gone.
Large ass turtle just disappears.
Hey, where'd you go?
You drank one of the potions, you go turn invisible. Alright.
Go to the jewelry salesman as well.
This one doesn't have a sign on it. It's just a small stand, no cover above or anything. It's just a man standing next to a stand with various jewelries on it. This is the human man you saw as you entered. And you can see now, as the sun begins to go down, he is now packing up a bit of his things, but he notices you and says, "Oh, are you shopping?"
Ah, yes, I was browsing. Wanted to see if you had any wares for sale right before packing up for the evening. Yeah?
I got a few pieces here. A lot of my stock, to be honest, was taken when the zombies attacked the other day, but yesterday, I think. Everything rolls into one these days. I got a few necklaces, a couple of rings. Anything take your fancy?
I am quite partial to necklaces.
Yeah, well, what are you a fan of? I got a couple of those priestly ones that the Udon priests wear. The elongated star of gold. And then just a couple of... Well, this one's a skull. I don't really like this one. It creeps me out a bit. I'd be willing to get rid of this for a gold.
He's staring at me with my, 6 severed arms coming out of my shoulder. I don't like this one.
Please take this.
I'll take the... How much are the Udon necklaces as well?
Yes, they've been going for 5 gold. There's those priests, they're mighty kind. They will fund me for the rest of the time.
Okay. I'll take the skull off your hands, of course, and... could I look at the rings as...
Yeah. Yeah, you can take a look at the rings. Sadly, my more magical rings have been taken by someone. You know what? Hey, you know that gnome that keeps popping up everywhere?
Ah, yes. I've seen him around.
I think he bloody snatched the things, but I don't have any evidence. It's just like, he's all on the magic items. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic towards him. He's a nice folk, I guess. Anyway, I got some rings here. They're just like basic silver rings, basically.
Okay. How much for this silver ring?
Whew. I'll part with these for 5 silver. Man's getting decked out.
Ha ha! It's dripper down in these streets.
I mean, you got the money, may as well spend it, right? It's not like you're saving up for anything else.
Not like I need a ship.
No.
Alright, I'll get 10 silver rings.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, of course. He starts putting them in a little bag. This is the biggest sale I've ever had on silver rings. You are mighty kind. He hands you the bag, holds his hand out, just looking at the gold being offered to him. Oh my god. Thank you. I'm going to be able to buy my daughter something nice with these.
Ah, fantastic. Well, have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Yeah, you can see some of the other market posts. The gnome is just gone. He's disappeared at some point. And some of the other market posts are closing up, and people who were browsing are leaving. And with that, we can go over to Reinhardt, who last time headed over to the Diamond Knight barracks with Reinhardt, or with I got your characters mixed up again. Erebus, who's now set, was going over with Reinhardt. I don't know why your names are so confusing to me. And yeah, you're trying to get info about the whereabouts of Maddie Winters and Ramona Bow by exchanging that with turning yourself in for having been kidnapped. However, you didn't really get any information about Maddie Winters, but you did get the basic rundown of the immediate interior of the barracks, so that is something. And you guys are now walking down the road back towards the Spotless Crew, I believe is where you're going. Yeah, is there anything in particular you'd like to do set as you travel back? You're now blood red fur. You see people traveling to their homes.
I think we'll just head back.
Okay. You begin to head back towards the hotel. As you walk down the main road, it's weirdly quiet around here as people are getting into their homes and trying not to make too much of a ruckus. And you can see, sort of as the main square of the Crafters Ward, you see a bunch of inns closed up. You can see Booze Brothers. There's a little bit of noise coming from it, but not as much as usual. And you can see the Spotless Crew now with a little bit of police tape from the goings-ons from earlier. But you don't see any Diamond Knights.
That's good.
Reinhardt stands there smoking an e-cigarette.
I guess we left the Dragonborn in the inn, right?
Yeah, he's currently resting in your room trying to get health back.
And what time of day is it?
The sun is going down, so 7 p.m.
Then I guess we'll just retire for the night and wait for everyone to get back together so we can talk a game plan.
Okay. You begin to walk towards the Spotless Crew. You head up to the door. You put your hand on the handle, shake it. It seems to be locked somehow.
Just unlock it.
You try to unlock it. Do you have a key?
Were we ever given keys?
Not to the main door.
Then I'll just knock.
All right, you knock on the door. You hear shuffling inside, and then you hear like the door unlock. It opens, and you see not Ragdool, but a different male dwarf's face. And he looks. He's holding a lantern. He looks at you.
Hello.
Oi. Sorry, we're closed. There was a bit of a disturbance. Is anything I can help you with?
Yes, actually, me and my friend here were part of the people attacked, and one of our friends is still currently staying upstairs, and I don't know if we were kicked out, or if we were just sort of told to leave while it was being investigated.
Oh, you Erebus.
It's set now, but yes.
What's set?
I've changed my name.
Oh, right. Okay, well, yeah, come on in. I'm Mr. Bricks, by the way. And he opens the door the rest of the way.
Hello,
to let
Mr.
you in.
Bricks.
He closes it as both of you walk inside. Reinhardt just heads straight to the room. Mr. Bricks puts the lantern back on the wall and heads behind the counter.
I guess I sort of just sit at the bar.
Yeah, Mr. Bricks. So, I hear you've been talking with Ragdool about the Diamond Knights.
I have.
Yeah, things are changing in this city. They won't be in charge much longer. If Titan has anything to do with it. Anyway, Ragdool's off on a meeting, I guess. But it's good to know that we've got people like you around this city. Just in case, things go shit.
Yeah. All the more capable people to help in tough situations.
Yeah. Especially with the way things have been going recently with the undead. I was born in this city. Been here a long time. And to see the state of it is really upsetting. Especially, knowing that we could go elsewhere. But I just feel a need to protect. I don't want it to go down like this. I don't want people to lose their lives because Scar leader's too afraid to do anything.
Yes. Sometimes those in power are often the most afraid to act because they feel it will upset the balance of power and they'll lose what power they cling to.
Yeah. It's just... With Dayron, it's different because it felt like things were changing when he first got in charge, and now... I don't know. I guess power corrupts.
Power and time tends to do that to all, but the best of us.
I agree. Anyway, I should finish up here. And, I'm going to keep the door locked just in case anyone comes snooping around.
And will I be able to let my two other companions who are staying with us back in?
Yes, it was the orc and the turtle, right?
Indeed.
I'll keep an eye out for them.
Reggie stays outside.
Thank you. And an elephant woman. I forget what they're called. Loxodon.
Ah, okay. A Loxodon.
But you may have taken up with the religious aspects of the city.
Ah, well, that'll make her easier to spot.
Yes, those who are religious often are easier to identify. Makes it quite convenient for our line of work.
Yeah. Again, thank you guys. I feel a lot safer knowing we got heroes like you on our side.
Yes, all hail Broom Guy.
Hell yeah. Hey, if you
I
know,
love Broom Guy.
if you got any connections to Broom Guy, just I heard Titan's been interested in a meeting.
I like in game take out like a piece of paper and just like write down Devon Titan's looking for Broom Guy, and then I go like put it on next to his piece of the floor he was sleeping on or whatever.
Nice. All right, so you are you going to bed and waiting for the rest of the party?
If he's not like making dinner, like he's not serving food, I'm like, Mr. Bricks, if the bar isn't necessarily open for food, is it all right if I make something for myself?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. The back's got a little kitchen area if you know what you're doing.
I should.
All right, yeah. He opens up the back for you, unlocks it, opens it. Yeah, and you see the area you saw before with the poker playing in the corner and like linen sheets hung up drying. There's a little area in the corner with literally like a fire stove.
Go start making pizza for me and the boys when they get back.
All right. One second to let me take a look.
Should I roll for that, or does it just happen?
Yeah. What kind of roll
Burns
would
down
that
the
be?
entire.
Performance? Sleight of hand?
Let's go survival.
We couldn't do one of the ones I have proficiency in.
If you fail at this, they will die eating your pizza. Just kidding.
Oh, well, I'll roll once and see if I want to use my inspiration.
It's be the best pizza ever.
It was a 15. I think that's good enough.
Yeah, you don't burn it or anything. It's a very nice pizza.
It's not like very good. It's not. Mm,
It's not like 5-star restaurant, but it's edible for sure. All right, so you begin making your pizza.
of course, it has fish on it because I'm a cat. Straight up, this like anchovies,
Good.
and then I make a second pizza. That's just cheese in case people don't want anchovy.
Devon was attending a fancy dinner by himself, hosted by Gudbrand Firefist, a flame Ganassi, who is considered the most wealthy man in all of Nox Hollow. You were invited inside by the servant Mao. You met the whole family, outside of a few who did not attend the dinner and were asked to fetch a stolen item for Gudbrand. The jewel of the Mistra, which was stolen by some Goliath. As a reward, if you were to take the mission, you would be given a ship capable of getting you and your friends off-world. And as that was happening, Kanat, the eldest son of Gudbrand, showed up in the doorway and began to create... he's a rebel in many ways, and he's someone who's sworn off becoming the Scar leader.
He's a bitch. Boom.
Yeah, and he was lecturing his old man about whether the jewel was important, and in a moment of pure rage, Gudbrand began choking, or maybe having some sort of heart attack, and fell to the floor. Everyone in the dining room was instantly in a panic, and that is where we resume.
Give me back the fucking jewel. I need it.
I will ask you in a moment what you would like to do, but in this instance, you see a woman in black, tight leather armor with radiator sunglasses, clearly a Fire Ganassi. She runs into the room. She instantly goes, "Everyone, move back, move back!" Besides you, who are currently holding Gudbrand, after you just healed him last time, or stopped him from dying at very least. She looks to you. What happened?
It's kind of difficult to explain. I mean, there was a argument that occurred. I'm not sure if this is what sparked the incident, but Mr. Firefist here started to choke seemingly, and he almost reached a point where he was going purple in the face, and now we're unable to communicate with him in any way. So we're worried if he might be in unstable or unstable condition.
Okay, so we don't know if he's quite stable yet. She goes over and looks at his food and sort of smells it, is about to taste it, and then just drops it onto the plate. We need the wizards to know if this was a heart attack or perhaps a poison. The eldest son, Kanat, says, Decoria sent a servant off to go get them. No. We cannot let anyone else leave the house until the Diamond Knights get here. Any one of us could have done this. Devon, what would you like to do? What sort of things would be?
After hearing the statement, anyone could have done this, I want to do a perception check to look around the room and see if anyone looks guilty.
Okay. Yeah, you can do perception to sort of check the room. Insight would probably get you a bit more information about like how people's faces are looking right now.
Okay, insight actually works better because that's a +5 instead of a +3, so let's go with that. Here we go. That's a 9.
So yeah, as you look around the room, genuine sadness from the family. Like, the wife is very distraught. Hearing the word poison gets her very concerned. Marileth seems focused. She wants to figure out what's happening. One of the servants in the corner of the room is sort of panicked in a way of like, oh shit, they might think I had something to do with this, that sort of face. Other than that, you don't really get a read on anyone looking like, oh, I did this shit, you know?
Oh, I guess I kind of just I sit there and I say nothing, to be honest, because there might be a lot of people looking at me and saying that I caused this. Since
Right.
the first time I've been here.
Yeah, so you sit holding Gudbrand. You can see his eyes are open, but almost like a weird glaze has gone over them. His mouth, tongue just sticks out as like he looks like he wants to say something, but just like can't bring himself to do it. His heart's still beating, though very faintly, so you know that he is alive. At this point, you see 3 figures appear in the doorway leading into the dining room. You recognize them as 3 of the Diamond Knights. The 2 armored orcs, one with a shield and no helmet, Jamal. And then you also see the Goliath woman with them in more tribal armor. And they immediately spring into action. Jamal says, Brawl, go to the kitchens, round up the chefs and any of the other servants in the house and make sure they don't leave. And the Goliath woman, Nauri, heads over to Gudbrand's wife and consoles her. I'm so sorry, Avaldi. She checks the body that you're holding, sort of notices you, realizes you're there, but is so focused on seeing what's going on. And then she walks back over towards Jamal. Orders, Captain. Go find the wizards. We need an autopsy done immediately. He's not dead. I don't care. We need to figure out what's going on. Just get them. I'd like to stay with the family. Nari, do as I say. And then she sort of begrudgingly looks back over towards Avaldi and then heads out the door, sort of banging Jamal's shoulder a little bit as she does that. Jamal walks over. Avaldi, please, can you take care of the body? I wish to speak to Devon.
I pass the body over to her, I suppose.
Yeah, and as you do that, Kanat helps, and they sort of grab his legs and sort of lie him out better, so that he's sort of not like crumpled up. Oh, Biodone, we have to stop meeting like this, Devon. Jamal says to you.
I don't smile or anything, but I do kind of, in a way, see the humor in the situation. Yeah. So I say, there would be better meeting places than this, that is for sure. I'm hopeful that he is fine, but that is something I've never seen before.
Yes, there is something devious going on here. And as he says this to you, he's sort of motioning you not to leave the room, but you are now sort of stand near the doorway so the family can't hear you guys as you mumble to each other. It is most unfortunate for you and for me. It's no doubt that you will be one of the suspects in this.
No, of course. I mean, that is to be expected. So I embrace any investigation. I know I did nothing wrong.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
16 and 2. 16. Oh, jeez.
He nods. I believe you. Although you have not been in Nox Hollow long, are seen as a hero at this point as Broom Guy. If this does go anywhere, the citizens of Nox Hollow will be on your side. I have no doubt about that. But you are a complete stranger in this situation. Dining in the Firefist estate for the first time, so the family is not going to place blame on the family, if you understand what I mean.
Yes, of course. That is another thing to be expected. So, I let them do as they wish. I just hope that I am not framed in any way for something that I had nothing to do with. If there were to have been no poisoning.
If it were to come to that, I would offer my aid in making sure that that does not happen.
Much. You need to... I can't count on you to bail me out every time, Jamal, but it is much appreciated.
I have no doubt that when this is all done, there is something you may be able to help me with.
Yes, of course. That can also be discussed, perhaps sometime soon. Mhm.
I feel distress over this, though. That things keep happening so quickly. It's hard to keep up. That something is happening behind the scenes. I just can't figure out what it is.
It's yeah, there definitely seems to be maybe people in positions of power that are not operating with the greatest of intent.
Yes, I have begun to suspect those around me.
It's hard not to. Everything that's gone down in just such a short period of time to not feel that it's connected in one way or another.
Yeah. As you say that, the other armored orc in this blue diamond armor walks back in. I put the cooks and servants in different rooms. When you're ready, they're playing coy, but I honestly don't think any of them know what's going on. Alright. Sorry. Jamal coughs to death. Alright, Devon. Follow me to the other room. Let's let the family grieve, and perhaps I can help you clear your name before things get out of hand.
Sure, I follow.
Alright, so you and the two orc knights head towards the other room. Open it up. Once again, very fancy sort of marble floor with these gold trims on the bottom and the top connected to the ceiling of the room. And there's just a bunch of people in here. You see two chefs. One is a Ganassi, the other is an elf. You see a couple of maids, three butlers, one of which is Mao, who brought you into the home. And then you see the two main assistants that Gudbren introduced you to last time. And they're sort of sat around, all of them looking quite nervous, just not sure what's going on. Jamal says, "All right, listen. I know this is tough. I know this situation is dire. Your boss, or master, whatever you call him, is in quite an interesting health situation, but we need to get to the bottom of this. So if you don't mind, we're going to interview some of you and try to figure out what exactly happened. Let's start with the chef, says he was eating with this when this all went down. And two chefs step forward. Please, I assure you, it had nothing to do with us. I'm sure it didn't, mister, but we need to make sure everything is in order before we just let you go. They look at each other. All right. We'll follow you. All right, come on, we'll go into the next room. And you head with them into the next room. So yeah, you see a tall, slender elf woman who is wearing the classic chef hat, and then a fire ganassi who has far more fancy attire, and they sort of tremble as Jamal and Brawl sit down at the table and wait for them to sit down, and they gently get in, and then Devon, you just sort of stand there seeing this. These two chefs are scared out of their minds.
I'm thinking, I'm not saying anything, but I'm thinking that in their position, I would be scared shitless as well if I was being accused of poisoning the richest person in this entire community.
Yep.
So,
yeah, and as you think that, there's a knock at the door, and Jamal's like, Devon, can you see who that is?
yeah, sure. I head over to the door, and is there like a peephole or anything?
Yeah, you can look through the little keyhole.
Sure, I'll look through the peephole.
Yeah, and you look through, and you can see that same tight leather black armor Ganassi.
All right, yeah, just let her in. She's fine.
She walks inside. Merilith. Yeah, what's up? I thought I may as well tag along. Fair enough. And they all sit at the table. Jamal puts his hands out, folds them in front of the two chefs. All right, just walk me through what happened as you were preparing the meal. The female elf speaks up. It was a normal dinner like any other. We knew that there was going to be extra, but that was fine as they were having guests. They're having geckos.
Oh, no.
We have various boxes full of various ingredients. So I was preparing the main dish, the green chicken. Yes. What exactly was the green chicken prepared with? Well, I was using roots and various spices to put a bit of seasoning on it. Okay. Anything out of the ordinary that was going on when you were preparing the food? Did anyone come in? Did any of the family members stop in to make sure that you were making the food right? No, I don't believe so. You can make an insight check if you'd like to, Devon.
Sure. Insight roll 15.
15. You don't think she's lying, but you think more so that she probably doesn't remember if anyone came in.
She's probably just overthinking it because she's in such a position of pressure. So I don't really presume that she's guilty in any way.
Yeah, fair enough. She continues. I noticed that the box of roots and vegetables that we usually store had been opened, but people come in all the time asking for meals, so I didn't think anything of it. What do you mean it had been opened? Don't you people open those all the time? Yes, but this was a new delivery, so it was a bit odd, but I asked Frank here about it, and he told me to just keep working. Yes, things like that happen all the time. Kids come in, they make their own meals. We're not supposed to bother the heads of the house and see what was happening in our kitchen. Interesting. Continue with your story, ma'am. Yes, I prepared the seasoning for the chicken and then provided it for the family. The dessert was done by Frank. Yeah, it was normal procedure as always. I would just add the necessary amount of sugar and mix it all up. A very good chef. I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. All right, don't question this. All right.
Stir it up, little darling. Stir it up.
And then the drink was a wine that we had saved for a special occasion that Gudbrand told us to keep. So when we heard that the broom guy was coming, an honor by the way, we thought that we would bring it out for the special occasion. And there was nothing weird about the drink. No, nothing weird. It hadn't been opened. We had been saving it for a long time. You can make another insight if you'd like to.
Sure. Let's try it. And 13.
This guy seems pretty honest, honestly.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Devon puts his hands over his head. Maybe we move on to the servants then. And then Merilith speaks up. Hold on. Yeah. What was your name, ma'am? She points towards the elf. I'm Lucia. Okay, Lucia. You mentioned that the box was opened beforehand. And you say that happens from time to time, sure. But, just walk me through a scenario in which that isn't just a coincidence. And the elf sits there. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Well, what if the roots and vegetables were tampered with? No, we would have known. We wouldn't have cooked if the... And then the Ganassi speaks up. Merilith, please. You are flustering her. She's new, okay? Just everyone calm down. This wasn't us, okay? Merilith looks at Jamal and then looks at Devon. She's not convinced.
I kind of say to her, like, no, I think there's reason to still have some suspicion. There are still so many suspects that we need to talk to, though, so, we'll keep these people in mind, but maybe it is best to move on to someone else right now.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Persuasion roll. 5.
How about you guys go talk to the others, and I'll stay in here. Jamal says, no, we're not doing that. You either come with us, or you get out. Fine. we can talk to the others. She heads towards the door, opens it up.
Don't worry, nobody's going anywhere until we figure this out. So there's always plenty of time to ask more questions.
And yeah, as you guys head back over to the other room, we will pause there and head back over to Cock just to see what exactly he is going to be up to for the rest of his night. Headed
Time to take notes. Woohoo!
So yeah, Cock, what to do?
Cock is done shopping, so he would have gone back to the inn to try to find the other boys.
Alright, you head back towards the Spotless Crew Inn. As you make your way down the streets, it's weirdly quiet. Compared to the prior nights, definitely off-putting a little bit as you sort of walk past alleyways that are shrouded in shadow. You get an uneasy feeling, but you make it to the Spotless Crew. You walk up to the door.
I will try to open the door.
Alright, you put your hand on the handle. It does not open.
I'll shake it really vigorously.
It sounds like Donald Duck as you try to open the door. Eventually, you hear, "What the bloody hell?" And then the door opens a little bit. What? Oh, you're the turtle, huh?
Yes.
Do you people have a name? Ragdu only said turtle.
You people.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm Cock the turtle.
There's another turtle in town here somewhere. He's way muscular than you are, so I get confused. He opens the door and lets you in. Roasted.
I didn't need the insults. Fuck you. I'll see if any of the other people are back yet.
Your cat friend's in the back cooking something very, very nice smelling. Honestly, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. And as he says that, he slams the door shut and locks it.
In anticipation, I will skitter over to the back on all fours.
Alright, yeah, the door's slightly ajar, so you can head back there. And yeah, you see Erebus /Set / the Tabaxi / the cook. We have to cook, Jesse! In the back, cooking up some pizza in a Firestone oven.
In the kitchen, whipping.
Hello, Cock.
So there was food back here.
There is indeed. I've made pizza.
Fantastic. Where is it?
I pull out of the oven 2 pizzas. One has anchovy. Both extra. I pulled. Whatever. Fuck you. I pull out 2 extra large pizzas. 1 anchovies, 1 cheese. Stuffed crust.
Man, it smells good.
I instantly nut in my shell.
That's how I know it's good. And I bring it out to the bar. Grab one of those pizza cutters, cut up some slices, grab some beer for us. I'm like, bon appetit, my friend.
Whoa. I proceed to start eating the pizza like the snapping turtle ate the...
I obviously take some pizza off, put it on a plate for you, so you're not like doing that to the entire pizza.
So yeah, you guys sit in the back of the hotel and eat your pizza as you stare into each other's eyes.
Thinking about how he could have been in the orgy if he was there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about how the fuck we're gonna rescue Maddie Winters if she's still even alive.
So what do you guys want to do after you're done eating your pizza? The 4th member of your crew has yet to return from his endeavor.
I guess I get started on making dessert. I make some chocolate lava cake for us to enjoy.
All right, give me a survival check.
Okay. I'll see if this is where I end up having to use my inspiration. No, it's a nat 20.
Yeah, it's really nice. The texture is really good on this one. It smells. Even Mr. Bricks comes in like, oh, maybe I could
I made some for him too.
Oh, thank you very much.
Only
Oh,
I'm
you're
allowed to
welcome.
nut back here.
Yeah, he starts eating as well.
Did Reinhardt come down and join us?
He, for whatever reason, is still upstairs sleeping. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's weird.
This shit bleeding me.
But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to do, or are you just gonna wait and see if
I'm gonna wait for Mans.
Since I'm in this cooking mood now, is there any requests from Cock or Mr. Bricks that I make while we wait?
Something with more fish.
More fish?
More fish.
Okay.
I'm gonna pour us some
All right.
tankards
How about-
of mead.
How about I do some
Oh
classic
yeah.
fish and chips? Is that good?
Yeah.
Great, actually. Shit, I
All
could go
right.
for that in real life.
You want me to roll again, Dylan?
Mm-hmm.
Dylan's a fucking European.
Okay, I'll use that inspiration now.
Oh no.
Oh, no. These aren't as good.
Yeah, you've gotten farther back into the fish. They don't actually like bring the old fish forward. They just stack the new fish on top of it. So this is a bit older in the collection.
The chips are a little bit soggy. Not the best.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, so you guys wait for Devon's return. Somewhere upstairs is a Reinhardt and a Cheros. Yeah, back over with Devon in the interrogation room. The Diamond Knights have brought over the two main assistants now.
Nick is straight up being interrogated. We're having like a full-on dinner party. Just three.
So this is Ravoskan and Markex, who are both Ganassi as well. Fire Ganassi. But they also look a little bit weird. They don't look as pure as the family. But they sit down at the table.
What the
Jamal-
fuck? Pure? Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that verb.
Impure. One of them is older than the other, quite older, probably in his late 30s, and then the other one is like maybe 22, 23, something like that. They're both young men, relative, but they just sit there staring at the Diamond Knights, waiting to be asked a question. Jamal has yet
Do
to
they-
sit down.
Insight check.
All right, insight check.
I want to see if they look scared or whatever.
Yeah,
I know nothing because that's a 7.
a 7. I mean, there's a nervousness, but no different than what you've felt with other people in the house.
And are these the waiters you said?
These are the main assistants, so they might be waiters, but they're like the servants that are closer to the family.
Okay.
So they sort of lead the other servants. Jamal looks towards you and Marileth. Okay, I don't know if I exactly did the interrogation right the last time. I don't know if you guys have any ideas. Interrogation's not really my strong suit, to be honest. I'm more of a get into the field and action. Meryl is like, if I had my way, we would be investigating the kitchen right now. Right. But yeah, Jamal looks to you to not necessarily lead the interrogation, but if you have any ideas of how to get more information than just about a box.
To be honest, I think the best way is just make it so that they incriminate themselves. Just keep them talking. If they have a story that they're fabricating, the more that they talk, the more their story is going to fall apart by talking. So, I don't think approaching it, in a accusation-y or Tory way is productive. So, I think just keep them talking, and eventually the person will be able to kind of incriminate themselves, ultimately, I would say.
As you say that, you look over slightly towards where they're sat at the table, and the big muscular Diamond Knight orc is stood next to them, and like one of them sort of like looks at him for a second, and they just like flinches towards them, and they both just like stop. They're like, ah! And then Jamal says, "Those are wise words, Devon. Merilith, you work here. What exactly? Who are these people? What connection do they have to this house?" "These are the main assistants to the family. There is a bit of a family rumor that these two might be bastards to Gudbrand." "Oh, right, okay. Yes, so while they are not part of the royal family, they are, part of the royal family, if you catch my drift." "Yeah, I get it, alright." "Alright, let's do this." He cracks his knuckles and walks over to the table. "Alright, so what were you guys doing when all this went down?" The older one speaks. "We were... Well, I was in the room. I saw it go down, and it was quite scary." "Okay, you were in the room, you saw Gudbrand fall." Yes. "What about you? What did you say your name was? Young one?" "I'm Markath. I was not in the room. I was assisting with the gardens outside." "The gardens? You mean the last tree?" "Yes, the person who attends to it needed some assistance." "Okay, so you weren't in the house, and the person who attends the tree would give you an alibi." "I would hope so, yes." "Okay." He looks back really awkwardly towards the rest of the group inside the room. So you guys are close to the family, yes?" "Yes, you could say that." "Okay, so close enough to know things about them that perhaps other people wouldn't."
Insight check to react to that question.
Alright, perfect.
19.
Objection.
When
Okay, Phoenix, right?
when he says the question, the younger one reacts in a way that is odd. Like, his initial reaction is like he like gulps a bit and then sort of has to like calm himself. "So you guys perhaps would know more than the average servant." Sure, but we would never use any of that against our lord, Gudbrand." "Of course not. I'm just saying you have a deeper connection. That's what I'm getting at. Of course, in a lot of ways, he's like a father to us." "Good. He's like a father to you. And sometimes kids fight with their fathers, yes?" "Oh, I suppose, but it was never like that between us." No, of course not." "What do you know of this Kanat fellow?" The eldest, yes." "Yes, the eldest son. Do you like him? What's your feelings on him?" They look at each other. I don't understand what this has to do with anything." "Alright, okay, fine. I'm not getting anywhere."
I'm gonna take another insight check because that was a very shaky response to,
Okay.
like, how does it not have to do exactly with the situation, especially if one of the people was in the room while they saw the argument was happening? That's bullshit. And that's an unnatural 20.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. Something they don't want to say, but it's not more of something that they had to say. It's almost like something they're scared to say.
I basically say verbatim what I just said to Jamal, and I say keep pushing them on this because there's something going on there that they're not letting us in about.
Jamal nods. "I just ask because Kanat I've been around the city. I've heard things. Kanat is the eldest son, and yet when he became of age, he had no interest in taking back the throne of Scar Leader. I would assume that would put some sort of strain on a relationship between his father and him. Well, I suppose a bit, but I don't know what you're saying. Are you saying Kanat did this? No, of course not. Why would he do that to his own father? But if something were to happen, surely he would... These are very devious questions. Perhaps, Markax, you know something? The younger one looks... No. Right.
I whisper in Jamal's ear. We haven't heard much from the smaller one. Target him with questions. There's something he's not saying.
Markax, is it? Yeah? When you were outside by the tree and you heard all the commotion, what was the first thing that went through your head? Well, Gudbrand is quite old, so perhaps he slipped or something. He slipped? Huh. I guess in a way he did slip, huh? I guess. You're quite younger than your friend here. Yeah. About 15, maybe years younger. Yeah. What are you getting at? Well, that's a big age gap, seeing as you two are so close. How exactly did you get these jobs? They both look at each other. I don't know. I was just born into it. I can't explain it. I don't know. And then the older one, Raviscan, says, "All right, that's enough. We're done here. These questions have nothing to do with what's going on. The Gudbrand needs medical assistance, and you're wasting your time with these silly questions." Interesting. All right, well, I think that's enough out of you two for now. Marileth sat sort of arms crossed in the back of the room. I'll lead them back to the others, she says, and they exit.
Alright, after they exit, is it just me and Jamal in the room, or is it also that other orc as well?
Yeah, he's there, but you cannot tell if he's paying attention or not.
Okay, I don't really care either way. I just say out loud, like, yeah, compared to the cooks, they were incredibly... There was something that they weren't telling us, and the fact that they shot down the interrogating instead of kind of waiting it out like the other two did, kind of a red flag to me that maybe they need some further questioning.
Yeah. Something about... If Marilith is right about them potentially being bastards of Gudbrand, there has to be history here between them and Kanat. I just can't figure out what it is quite yet. Anywho, shall we question the others? As he says that, Marilith comes back into the room. Listen, I think that we should go look at the kitchen, alright? Clearly, I don't think the chefs were in on whatever happened, but I do believe something happened to Lord Gudbrand's food, and if it did, then the evidence is most likely still in the kitchen. Jamal looks towards you to see what you think.
I guess there wouldn't be any other major suspects, so yeah, the potential scene of the crime seems like a good place to start, especially since one of us is very... I don't say this last part. Very insistent on going to the kitchen, so Marilith is made her mind up on where this shall be uncovered.
Marilith walks out the door, speeds off towards the kitchen. Jamal grabs you by the shoulder and says, "Things aren't ending up here. Your friends, is there any way you can get in contact with them? Perhaps they would be able to help us with an outside view. I don't know who to trust in this situation."
I could. I mean, I can't leave. It's the problem. I don't really have a means of contacting them. We don't. Unfortunately, there isn't any platform for me to contact them on currently. So,
Do you know where they
unless
are?
there is. Yeah, we spent the night near Booze Brothers. The name is fading from me right
was
now.
it the hotel in which your friends were attacked? Is that where you're staying?
Yes, that's the one.
All right. He looks over towards Brawl, who's now flicking some bug that's flying around him. Brawl, head to the Spotless crew and see if you can round up the rest of the party. Just inform them what's going on, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of this quicker. I just need more people I can trust. Brawl's like, okay. You're giving me permission to leave? I'm not one of the suspects, am I? No, of course not. What are you talking about? All right. He gets up, starts
Promptly
towards
leaves
the
the
door.
city. I did it! Ah!
All right. He leaves. You guys follow Marileth to the kitchen. So the three of you head inside. It's a pretty basic, fancy kitchen. Stainless steel countertops, some sinks. It's like the rest of the house is pretty like medieval fantasy, and then this is like a modern kitchen that you would find in like a fancy restaurant. And you can see Marileth is currently poking through some of the boxes that the chefs had mentioned. So what exactly are you looking for?
I guess any signs of foul play or maybe tampering of certain things, like because it doesn't seem like the people who cooked this intentionally did anything wrong, but maybe someone tampered in a way with ingredients, and that's what led to this catastrophe. So I'll be looking for that.
Okay. So you head over in the area where Marileth is looking around, and she sort of is like, I'm trying to figure out what exactly they were working with for this meal. It appears they put everything back by now. And you notice off a little bit, like not in the stack where all the boxes are piled up, sort of off on a countertop, there is a separate box. Looks similar to the one she's looking through, but it seemingly has been hidden, or at least been tried to be hidden away.
I go up and approach the box and pick it up. Look inside.
All right, you pick it up, you look inside, and yeah, you can see various roots and vegetables inside. And yeah, you can, like, the sort of edge of the lid has been, like, scraped a bit. Clearly someone was trying to open it, but now it has been opened. Yeah. Marilith looks over. Is that what we're looking for?
I suppose so. It doesn't feel like one of the chefs would have this amount of scrapes to open a box that they use on a common basis. So this is as clear of a sign of tampering that we're going to get.
Huh. Here, let me give it a look.
I pass the box over to her.
So she looks inside. This is some high-powered assassin shit. This is mushroot.
Mushroot.
This is not stuff you use for cooking. Jamal also walks over like, what? Yeah, Mr. Firefist, he's been poisoned, but not in the traditional way. Whoever did this didn't want him to die. They simply turned his brain into mush.
Is it permanent, or is it just a temporary? And there is a cure for this.
Bayudon. Yes, there has to be a way to reverse this, no? Well, if there is, it's outside of my bounds of knowledge. Again, we require the wizards. I don't know why they haven't shown up yet. Someone... The thing about Mushroot is only a true assassin or a bounty hunter would have something of this kind of effectiveness. You know, you use it to capture a target and then leave them in a way that they can't escape you even though they're not dead.
Bounty hunter, you say?
Is there a, like, security camera placed in a way that, would be pointed at where the box ended up when I picked it up?
With your perception check, there are security cameras, and they sort of swivel throughout the room. So, you would assume that yes, they most likely would have seen.
Then I kind of say, like, well, here's our sign of tampering. Let's run the cameras back and see who's been in and out of this room. And, you know, in the past, would you say maybe 12 hours? Would that be realistic? Kind of looking over at Merilith and seeing what she says.
Yeah, Jamal's like, can you get us access to those cameras, Merilith? I can try. Again, my jurisdiction is more outside of the house, but I can give it a go. What do we do with the people we're still holding? We can't just hold them all night.
Yes.
We need to make sure that the family are protected, and I don't think they'll feel safe if those people are around them. So perhaps I take them back to the barracks for the night, just for precaution.
Yes,
You can't arrest people that haven't necessarily done this, though. Well, what do you want me to do, woman?
I suppose that there isn't. I don't think there has been enough evidence that we've gotten to indict. Even the non-pure, whatever the fuck, people, whatever designation they got. I'm sorry. I just was like, as soon as when I hear pure, as soon as in relation to like people, I think of like cousin fucker from Alabama, basically.
Yeah.
But back into character. I would say to Jamal, like, yeah, even the two people and main assistants, they seemed like there wasn't something that they're telling us, but I don't think we have enough evidence against even them to make it an arrestable offense. Are we going to be, in the position that the Diamond Knights already are, where they're being accused of overreaching and overstepping boundaries now with the richest man in town being poisoned, that we're going to arrest 99% of people that are innocent for the 1% of person that's guilty?
Yes, you make a good point. Persuasion roll.
18.
All right.
The rolls have picked up.
I will let them go, but they cannot stay in this house. They must find a place elsewhere to lounge, and hopefully we can keep track of them enough to not allow them to leave the city.
Yeah, that's probably all you need.
As for I will handle this. How about you two try to get a hold of those tapes and figure out who exactly did this? Merilith agrees. Yeah, I think me and Devon can handle it from here. All right.
Yeah, we got this. Let's go, Merilith.
She begins to walk off, and like before, as you turn to follow her, Jamal just grabs you on the shoulder, like, "Be careful, friend."
You too, Jamal. Jeez, there's too many situations to look out for these days.
I agree. I will see you soon. And he turns to leave.
See you soon.
All right, and we'll pause there for the time being. This is getting good. Holy shit! Back at the spotless crew in the back room, the merry party of three, Mr. Bricks, Set, and Cock, fucking are getting wasted and eating pie and to their heart's content.
Nom 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 nom.
Mr. Briggs is like, oh my god, this city would be so much fun if we did stuff like this way more often.
Indeed. Yes, it would. I'm not. I've been drinking water. I don't drink it.
He hasn't noticed. Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. If instead of the Diamond Eyes in charge, we just had a bunch of drunk motherfuckers, nobody would ever have anything bad happen to them. I promise.
I think Ireland used that tactic quite well.
I don't know what that is. Is that a ship?
Oh yeah, the ship of Ireland.
Oh, I remember when I had a ship. It was the most beautiful thing. I never took it anywhere because I'm an idiot. But yeah, I wish.
And where's your ship now?
I had to sell it to afford rent.
That's too bad. You could have lived in your ship, man.
Yeah, fuel is so expensive now, though.
Indeed.
You know, Star Forges, they charge you up the walls over that stuff.
Tried stealing.
Oh, no, not me. I'm not a stealing guy. I try to live life honestly. I try my best anyway, you know, sometimes, especially in this city, you never know.
For sure.
Yeah, I was engaged, actually.
Oh, what happened?
My lovely Barry. I don't know where he went. One day, he just up and left the city. He didn't tell me where he wanted to go, but I haven't seen him since.
It's unfortunate.
That's what I get
Really
for falling
is.
in love with a human.
Oh,
I hate you.
humans. Aren't they the... Aren't they the... Yeah. Besides, I know, like, one good human.
I did too.
Yeah.
Mr. Bricks quietly cries to himself as he holds his drink close.
I put more chocolate lava cake in front of him.
Thank you, friend. As you do that, you hear a loud on the front door.
I'm noticing Mr. Bricks is in no position.
Yeah, he slowly falls face first into the cake.
I go answer the door.
Alright, you take the keys, I assume.
Yeah.
You take the keys off of drunk Mr. Bricks. And go over to the door. It'll unlock, open it. You can see a heavily armored diamond knight, muscular all over. Hi!
Hello.
You're not small anymore!
Oh, no, indeed I am not. The magic wore off.
Wow! That's amazing! I like magics.
Ooh.
Anyway, Jamal gave me permission to break your curfew and bring you to the Firefist Estate to solve the potential murder of Gudbrand. To free your friend of the potential, downside of being chosen as the guy who did it. And be heroics and stuff.
Which friend is this?
Oh snap. The one who looks like... And he pulls his helmet off and you see a really ugly orc with a really muscular jawline, but otherwise just battle scars all over. Like this a little bit.
Hmm.
And he puts his helmet back on. Don't tell anyone I showed you that.
Your face.
Don't tell your parents what you saw here.
His face is like really soggy too from sweat.
Don't worry, my friend. No one needs to know I saw your face.
I forgot I wasn't supposed to show people.
Why not?
Well, Nari keeps telling me I'm fucking ugly.
Don't let someone else's opinion of your physical appearance determine whether or not you show your face to people. Someone out there in the world must find you beautiful.
Hey, that's really nice. I wish I hung out with more people like you.
Isn't that the goal for the world? For everyone to find friends that are nice to them and respect them?
Yeah. Yeah. We should probably go, huh?
Yes, let me gather the rest of my friends. Or is it just me who's been given permission to break curfew?
It was the group.
Okay. One moment, good sir. Go get Cock. Go get Reinhardt. Cock. Is how drunk are you, Andrew?
Not drunk enough to the point where I'm throwing up on myself yet.
I put my paw on your shoulder. Cock. It seems Devon has been brought into a situation where he's being accused of murdering someone in the Firefist district. So
Yeah, that sounds like him.
we have been relieved of our curfew so we could go prove his innocence.
Sounds like fun.
All right.
I grab
let's
a
go.
shit ton of mead before I leave.
Mr. Brick snores into his cake.
I grab what's left of the pizza, what's left of the fish and chips, what's left of the chocolate lava cake, and I put it in a to-go box to take with us.
All right, you can add 5 rations to your inventory.
From 5 feet away, I take a snapping turtle bite of some of the lava cake that's underneath Mr. Brick.
You get a little snot in there.
Hey, I have more to give you. Let him keep his pillow.
All right, so then you go upstairs, I assume, to go fetch Reinhardt.
Yeah.
You head inside the room that you guys shared, and you can see him in the bed, just lying down asleep.
Is Cock with me?
Cock is currently waiting in the main room downstairs.
I put my paw on his shoulder and sort of shake him.
Reinhardt shakes awake.
Seems Devon is being accused of murder, and we can go prove his innocence. Would you like to join me and Cock on this expedition, or continue to sleep?
Usually I would love to, but I just feel really tired.
Too bad. Picks him up.
I think I smoked too many cigarettes.
Yes. That will do it to you.
And he just shrivels into the bed.
I burned out the fucking coil on my jewel. Goddamn.
You do notice that Cheros is not in the room that you are currently in.
Well, there was a second room that
Yeah.
the big people were staying in.
Yeah.
I checked the second room to make sure he's still there.
Okay. You can go to the second room. You knock on it since you don't have the key to this room, and I guess you took the keys from Mr. Brick, so you do technically have the key to this room. So you
I have the
unlock
key to
it.
the entire establishment.
And yeah, you see the orange dragonborn who's stripped off everything but his cloak and just lies in the bed, not asleep, just lies there.
I hand him one of the rations of the pizza and the lava cake and the fish and chips.
He takes it. Oh, thank you.
Me and Cock are leaving to go help Devon with a matter. Reinhardt is in the next room if you need anything. But good luck with your recovery.
Yes, I'll see you in the morning.
Have a good night. I slowly walk out, close the door.
Yeah, and he was, the thing you notice as you walk out is he was definitely taking up the entire bed, so that's going to be interesting when they all get back. And yeah, you head back downstairs. Cock, as you're sat in the main room, you can just see the head of that orc sticking in the door, like, hello?
Hey, want some mead?
No.
More for me.
And yeah, you guys gather, the two of you.
Let us head out. So,
Did one of you shrink again?
no, our friend is too exhausted to help tonight.
Oh, fair enough. And he begins walking down the road. Follow me, small ones!
Follow him.
Alright, you guys begin to head in the direction of the Firefist estate, and as that happens, we will head back over to Devon and his new friend Merilith as they head towards the security room inside the Firefist estate. There is a sort of metal door with a sort of glass window at the top of it, and she looks inside to see if anyone's in there. There isn't. She taps on the button next to it twice, pushes her finger down as this little doodad comes out, and she places her finger on it, and then goes green, and she opens the door. All right, let's figure this out. You head inside, you see a room with a wall full of screens and like a computer setup, and she sits down at the chair and begins scrolling through footage. All right, we need the kitchen, and you said the last 12 hours, yeah?
You would think that'd be the time frame, so let's start there.
All right. She begins. You both just sit there. The main screen that you're looking at just has this footage of the kitchen, and you just see these two chefs. Okay, at the beginning, like 2 hours into the 12 hours, as you're just zooming by, you see a delivery man come in and place a couple crates down, and there's like a moment where like the box is, you can see the box you're looking at because it's labeled roots and vegetables, and then like something happens because she's speeding through it so quick, and then next thing you know, it's like sat on the counter. She's like, oh. She goes back a little bit, watches it again, and then as you're watching it in real time, it's like the box just goes from on the stack of boxes to on the counter in like an instant. Like there was a cut.
Is there like a like date and time on the video that matches up with the security votes?
Yes. There's a time of day and stuff like that.
So when the cut happens with the box, is there also a cut in the time?
There isn't. However, you start to notice that. Give me a investigation check. You start to notice that you're going to give me an investigation check.
14.
Okay. Yeah. The footage beforehand, before the box moves, for like a good 5 minutes, is way too still. Like you can sort of see the windows in the background, and like nothing changes. Like there's like a 5-minute period before the box moves where the footage stays still.
How about the audio in this 5-minute period? Is that just static as well? Like you can't hear anything?
Sadly, these cameras do not pick up audio.
Okay.
So someone clearly tampered with these. I don't know if it was after the fact or if someone messed with these, it had to come from within the house.
Right. Because that's someone who tampered with the roots, and now someone who has access or has connections with someone with access to this room.
Yes.
To be able to cover up this footage.
So either someone used magic to mess with these cameras and then in that 5-minute period tampered with the roots, or we've got multiple offenders on our hands.
I'm gonna say this out of character. I'm not saying this because I'm hella suspicious about Merilith now, to be honest. The fact that she came in the start of this session and we hadn't seen her before, or maybe we had, or maybe she like greeted. She was probably one of the people that greeted us at the door or some shit. But I don't know. There's something, because it's like, oh, well, they need to have access to this room. Who got us into this room? He did. You know. So I'm going to. All right, back into character.
You can insight her if you want to while she's doing this.
Sure, yeah. I'll do an insight check. That is 23.
Yeah. She. It's not so much a suspicious feeling around her. Like she seems calm in that regard, but there's definitely something that she's not letting on. Like you get that feeling of like, yeah, she probably knows more than she's telling me. So you don't have full, like, basically how you feel now. Yeah, you pretty much confirm that feeling.
I hate when that happens. I always want to be wrong in these scenarios, but so who other can access this room? You know, because it seems like this would be, you know, pretty exclusive area to get access to.
Yes, well, the obviously Gudbrand and Evaldi have access. The two main servants have access. I have access. Some of the children have access. The older ones. Other than that, I suppose I don't know if maybe the Diamond Knights do. I couldn't. You'd have to ask one of them. Those are the only people I've seen in and out of this room, which, you know, perhaps leads to the suspicion that one of the main assistants had something to do with this.
Perhaps. Well, while we're here, is there a camera that looks or is in the room or is in like the hallway that the room or is outside of?
Oh, the security room. Interesting.
Yeah, I want to see if anyone went into the room and doctored while in real time.
She begins pulling up different feeds. We've got one camera that shows the very edge of the entrance to this room, and then we've got another camera inside, obviously. She points up towards
All right. Let's look at the camera inside for the last around at that exact same time that the thing was going on. See if anyone was fabricating shit.
So yeah, she begins scrolling through the footage. Give me a investigation check with advantage.
12 and natural 1. So 12.
So yeah, as she's scrolling through at the exact time, there is one of the main assistants, the younger one, is like sat outside the door almost like in a guard position. He's got some sort of dagger on his side. And then a figure in a hood approaches, and she pauses. I don't recognize that cloak. She plays it slowly. The figure and the guard talk for a moment, and then the footage cuts, and both of them are gone.
Did the figure in the hood have a similar build to the older guard or assistant?
You can give me another investigation.
19.
No.
Okay. Well, that basically does, in my eyes, incriminate the younger assistant, because it's like the fact you're there, you're talking to someone we haven't seen before, you were guilty before, so there's still part of me though that's saying there isn't enough to arrest him for this yet. So I'm not ready to go to Jamal and be like, oh, here's the fucking guy. Because he's showing signs he's guilty, but there's nothing where it's like the gotcha yet.
Yeah.
So,
Marileth
what
also
else there
seems
could be?
lost in thought
Yeah.
for a moment. She says, well, I do know that sometimes the assistants are assigned to keep watch of certain areas, but something peculiar about the time of day and all of this. Also, who was that figure? Who could he have been speaking to? This is something I believe we should question them about.
It's let's hope they aren't potentially leaving the area to avoid any questioning per se.
Oh, then we should hurry, as it sounded as if Jamal was letting them head somewhere else in the city.
agreed. And I guess we just go and head off and yeah.
As you guys do that, Marileth will pull out like a little disc and we'll start putting the footage onto it, just in case you need it for later. And as you guys begin to head out of the security room, the rest of the party, Set and Cock, arrive at the front of at the entrance to the Firefist estate. There are 2 guards out there that are being talked to by Nauri the Goliath.
Set and Cock. Hell yes. I let out a hearty laugh. Boom.
And Jamal is now there as well.
Excellent.
Did you 2 find anything? I let the others leave as you suggested, and they were quite distressed, to be honest, that they were not allowed to stay in their home tonight. But I told them that it was for the best to keep the family safe.
Well,
there might be. I brought everybody. Yep, good job.
And I brought mead.
Oh, well, I don't know if we need that quite now. 2 of you, all of us, perhaps we should talk. Maybe inside.
Indeed.
So, the party of Devon, Marilith, Jamal, Brawl, Cock, Set, and Nauri all head inside into one of the rooms, one of the fancy rooms, and they sit around a table to discuss. What would you guys like to say?
I guess I'll lead things off with what we found so far and kind of fill you in on what's happened. So, I'm not sure how much you have heard. Can you kind of let me know and what you need filled in?
I heard you killed someone. Good job.
Yes, that will happen when you get poisoned by mushrooms, I believe they were called. They appear to have completely scrambled Mr. Mr. Firefist, excuse me, like Rain. And
Reinhardt might have those too.
yeah, so we definitely need to look at this also as a situation of sabotage, because we've gone through, investigated the kitchen. That's where we found the evidence of the mushrooms that were not used for cooking. They're actually just used for poisoning someone in a long term. We're assuming there's a cure for it, but he's not in a good state right now, to say the least. And we investigated the security cam footage, especially the camera footage in the kitchen of the box that got tampered with. There was a cut while that happened, and when we investigated outside and inside the security room around the same time, we saw the younger main assistant that we talked to earlier talking to some hooded man that did have a different build of the other main assistant, but that footage also cut and resulted in them disappearing right after. So
could you perhaps? Sorry, finish.
No, you're that was about it. So maybe they might need more questioning.
Could you perhaps take me to the security room so I could see if my knowledge might be able to help me recover whatever was cut?
Yes, of course. That would definitely come in handy, because it's definite proof of foul play here. So if that could be recovered, that would be the evidence we need. Because we still don't have enough to incriminate this man, but he is showing every sign of guilt.
Jamal, speak up at the head of the table. What did this hooded figure look like exactly?
Definitely it seemed like that it was trying to be hidden. It was kind of a thin, maybe tall, dark figure in a cloak. That was really all we could get, apart from, who he was talking to, which was definitely the younger maid assistant.
Interesting. And Merilith, would you know if these assistants playing guard is something that they do often? From time to time. Not often, I wouldn't say. Interesting. So, somebody gave the order for this young assistant Morcath to watch the door of the security room. He was approached by a figure. The camera cuts, and neither of them are there. Correct?
Yes.
This is... I have a suspicion, though I don't know how much of this you all know. I believe this hooded figure to potentially be this Titan that the streets speak of. They have been described as a hooded figure that comes out at night.
Titan. Oh.
Yes, they are a leader of a rebellion, some group that wishes to overthrow us Diamond Knights. We have been aware of them for some time, but their rambunctious nature has yet to truly push us to act upon it, especially with how the undead have been such an issue in this city.
That's just evidence right there. We've just seen of them potentially trying to kill the richest man in this entire town. So it's like, what else do you need? Kind of.
Yes, that's the thing, though. I don't know. Perhaps there is some angle here I'm not seeing. I don't see how killing Gudbrand advances their goal, but perhaps just more panic within the city. I'm not quite sure. Nauri slams her fist on the table. Yes, that's exactly what this must be. This is Titan. I know it. I told you should have let me go after whoever this person is. Calm yourself, Nauri. This is not the time for personal grudges. They glare at each other.
Oh no. Anyways,
Right now,
we got to go find that security footage, like you were saying, because there might be something you're able to recover.
indeed.
We are men of action. Let's
All
move.
right, Merilith, take them back to the security room. Nauri, how about you and I go find Morcath, see where he's run off to? Nauri doesn't say anything, but just stands up. All right, we'll meet back here in about 10 minutes. And they begin to walk out the room. Brawl sat in the corner. What would you want me to do? Just stay here. Okay. He starts playing with his thumbs. There's nothing to do when I got nothing to punch.
You could punch this mug of mead.
I could punch you.
That could also be fun.
I'm scared, though, with all the drink you've had, that if I punch you really hard, you might throw up on me.
That is a possibility.
If I squeeze you really hard, will it be like a squirt gun?
Kind of like a broken squirt gun, because it'll kind of shoot out of everywhere.
Oh. Gross. Merilith has stood in the doorway. Are we doing the security camera thing, or are we talking to the big orc?
Let's go watch the cameras.
Camera. Let's do the camera.
Alright, Merilith leads you guys back towards the security cameras. You guys head over. She looks inside, presses a button twice, scans her finger, goes green, pulls it open. Alright, let's do this quick.
I start looking at. Is this like a security system I'm familiar with that I might have sabotaged in the past, so I would know how to unsabotage it?
Give me a history roll.
Okay.
History.
Don't fail me now. Woo, that's not bad. 14.
Vaguely familiar with it. You probably not this exact model, but it is. You
Close
recognize
enough.
certain systems, yeah.
Would that history check give me an advantage on a sleight of hand roll to recover?
Probably not enough. But you
Doesn't matter anyway. Unnatural 20.
Holy shit.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. So, you're sort of going through the system. You're looking at recent recordings.
I look in the trash bin, see if they deleted it, but didn't permanently delete it.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know, in the Spider-Man game where you have like those like broken molecules that you got to fix. It's like a game like that. You have to fix the recording file, and it starts loading. It's like file recovery, and there's like a red bar that's charging up. And you all sit there silently in the room.
I pull out more container of the food I've made. And I'm like, I made some dinner tonight. Would you like some? I got chocolate lava cake,
Absolutely.
pizza, and fish and chips.
Well, I would absolutely love some fish and chips. Thank you.
I hand it over.
I devour that shit while I watch the footage.
I offer some to the guard. Do they?
Marileth.
Yeah.
I'm good, thank you. I've eaten. Are you guys all in the room?
I think Cock stayed behind.
I said I'd come with.
Oh,
Okay, so you're all sat in the security room.
Do you want more, Cock?
Ooh, thank you.
I always
Okay.
want more cock. You
We've eaten 3 more rations worth since we've started this trip. This is gonna go bad, so I gotta hand that food out.
yeah, so the bar finishes, it goes green, and then the footage begins to play. Which footage would you like to watch first? The security room or the kitchen?
Let's do the security room.
Okay. So you watch 2 different angles, one from outside the room where you can just barely see the door leading in, and then one from inside. You don't see anyone inside. You just see this young-looking assistant sat in front of the door, and then suddenly a hooded figure approaches. And there's no sound, so you can't hear, but clearly there is some sort of exchange of words. And then the young one begins to walk away from the camera, away from the door, and the hooded figure heads inside, accessing the terminal somehow. And then inside the room, you see them walk up to the wall of screens, and they pull out some sort of machine, and they just activate it. Like there's this pulse of energy, and all the screens like go static for a second and then come back on. And then they put the thing back in their pocket, and they walk towards the door and exit and head in the direction of where the young assistant went.
2 questions.
Yeah.
Would I recognize that device used? 10.
10? Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a gadget that someone with immense skill in this field would carry with them. Some sort of machine that can tamper with recordings of this kind.
It doesn't
So I turn to my-
look like there's a traffic cone under the hood. It's there.
It doesn't appear that way, no.
Okay.
I turn to the rest of the group. I'm like, so it appears our mysterious fellow is quite experienced in their craft, for that is a tools some more skilled in this field might carry on them to help with such tasks as disrupting security systems. And the second thing is, could we get the camera security footage following the hooded figure as they leave, and maybe one on the young guy who left, and like follow their progress until we can't anymore?
Sure. So yeah, you begin. I assume time goes by, and you continue to unclutter all of the footage, and eventually you have like a map of where they traveled. The hooded figure clearly does not want to be spotted. Every time that they move, they're like moving in a way that the hood covers their face from the camera, and both of them travel towards the back door, sort of in it's connected to. There's like a hallway that curves around and it curves into the kitchen, but at the access point of that curve is the back door exit, and the young assistant heads out that way, and so does the hooded figure.
Is there a camera outside, or is that as far as we can see?
There's no camera in the backyard, as far as you're aware. None that sees the exit.
That's highly suspicious. When you agree,
Oh yeah.
you will check out the kitchen. Which one had the latest timestamp? So, like, which one came first? Was like the kitchen mess up first, or was the security room mess up first?
The kitchen one happened about 30 to 40 minutes before the camera one.
Oh, I thought they happened at the same time.
Within the 12-hour period, they happened very close to each other, but not at the exact same time.
We watched the newly recovered kitchen footage.
Okay. How do I want to describe this? Each of you can give me an investigation check. Cock, you can have advantage.
I got a 10.
10, 18.
I'm rolling really good for investigation.
I'm rolling very well for cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was smacking on fish and chips.
I got a natural 20 minus 1.
Holy shit.
The natural 20 cancels out any negatives or positives.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Set doesn't really notice anything immediately as you're watching the footage. Devon, you notice the window to the kitchen open, but you don't see anything happen. But you definitely notice the window slides open somehow. Cock, with your natural 20, you see this ethereal, wavy form move, and then you can tell that there's some sort of spell that's been cast on a person as they move throughout the kitchen, and you just see one of the boxes be pulled off the stack, open up, and then something gets dropped into it and closes, and the box gets placed back, and this ethereal form is moving, and then suddenly, like, there's like a snap, and like there's there's no doubt in your mind that Skeekers the gnome is in the kitchen with his cone hat and his loincloth, and he quickly runs back over to the window and jumps out.
God,
Can I make a history roll to see if the guy who just died is the one he said he was trying to get?
Sure, and also like a few like seconds after he jumps out the window and it closes, one of the chefs walks in.
Is Skeekers the dude we hitched a ride with to come in here?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other gnome who just shows up at random intervals and...
That's Roderick, one of the salesmen.
17 on history.
The guy he mentioned was a Triton named Telis Rex.
Ah, yes, okay.
These are Ganassi folk.
Yes.
And yeah, you all see a small figure jump out the window as that happens. Merilith is like, who the hell is that?
Do we recognize him at this point?
Yeah, the traffic cone is a dead giveaway.
It seems to be
I know.
an intruder.
I know who that is.
What? We don't rat out our friends in this business. It's part of the Thieves' Code. Bounty hunters are included on the Thieves' Code. It's called the Thieves' Code, but it's essentially for everyone who works in the underworld.
Merilith, are you saying this out loud?
No, I'm like saying it in my head.
Hey, wait, hey, that's our friend. Stop that. What?
You know,
I will say I believe I've seen them before, though.
this gnome. God, why do intruders keep getting into this house?
Maybe it's because none of your security cameras look outside.
Yeah, that's a fair critique. First the fucking Goliath, and now a gnome, and some hooded
What
figure.
boy?
How did a Goliath get in?
There was the whole point that Broom Guy was here for in the first place was a mission to get back a jewel that was stolen by a Goliath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you can't vape for a while, that kind of.
Should we go
Yeah.
check out that box to see if we can determine what was put in it?
Yes, sir.
We already figured that out. It was called mush root.
Ah.
Would I recognize
I
that
thought-
from my...
I called it mushroom. Dumbass.
I love mushrooms.
It sounds very similar to mushroom. Yeah, you can give him a medicine check or a survival maybe.
Both are +1, so I'll go with medicine. 15.
Yeah, it's some sort of poison that affects the brain.
I've never used it, though.
I'll let you decide whether you've used it before.
Probably not. If I'm going to poison someone, I'm not going to do something that affects the brain. I'm just going to go for one of those that you're done and out. You're not supposed to drag on people's misery unless you're specifically hired for it.
Yes, sir.
Well, so a gnome dropped the mushroot out, or dropped it into the box.
Yes, but
What is happening in the city?
can I keep playing to see which chef uses it? Because if a chef who's a professional cook doesn't recognize a poison and puts it into their meal anyway, they are also highly suspicious.
I was like, nobody saw this?
With your 15, you would know that one of the characteristics of the mush root is that it blends in with other roots. So potentially the chef knew, but also that the kind of the point of it is that you wouldn't notice if you were using it in a dish. But
We should still-
it was the female elf that prepared the seasoning that the root was used in.
I'd still bring them in for questioning, just see.
Yeah, probably gonna have to question everyone again with this new information. This gnome, you say you may have recognized him. Do you know where he is? Could we get to him?
I believe he lives in this city. Other individuals around town have told me that he's been acting suspicious.
Really?
But if I see him, I will absolutely let you know where he is. Unless you'd like me to attempt to bring him here myself.
Well, I mean, he's currently suspect number 1. We know for sure that he was the one that dropped off the poison. We just need to know who sent him.
I'll do all I can then.
Do you have any
I-
idea why he would be the operative used?
I
Money,
do not know.
his rate,
I don't.
it might be his
personally-
expertise.
Could be, but I don't know.
Could I do like a history? Sorry, we're talking over each other.
It's okay.
Because this is sort of my line of work and I've done it a lot, could I do like a history or insight check to see like why someone would be specifically hired? Not like why him specifically, but like what type of person people would look for and like what qualities that person would have to hire someone to break in and drop off poison.
Yeah. History is wisdom, right?
Intelligence.
Yeah, history then.
Oh! 18.
Flop.
The person that would be sent on a mission like this is someone who would have access to that poison.
I mean, and I'm saying this now out loud to everyone. I mean, the main reason someone's hired for any type of poisoning mission, not that I would know, just off the top of my head,
Theoretically, of course.
theoretically, of course, is access to the drug the client wants to use for the poisoning.
Ah, of course.
So if we can find where someone could get mushroot in the city, we could probably find our saboteur.
Very good.
Time to investigate.
I believe we know what to do, unless we have anything else to do here.
Would I, perchance... I know this is asking a lot, but this is like right up the alley of my character. Clandestine missions and everything. So the person isn't dead. It's just their brain's been fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Would I perchance... Could I do like a history or medicine roll to see if... Because I was also trying to do good while I was undercover, if I would like know a cure that someone could be slipped to help them recover from it.
Yeah, you can definitely try medicine check.
Nah.
Devon could also try it to.
Let's definitely try a medicine check with my +5, turning it into a 22.
Also, I want
Yeah.
to check the box to see if there's more mushroot in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are sort of thinking about this as you walk towards the kitchen. Marileth stays behind in the security room just in case. So nobody deletes the fucking footage. So
I would know more.
as you're thinking about it, Devon, there are spells, there are scrolls, there are certain potions as well that are like restoring. So anything of like a restoration type spell would most likely remove whatever sort of poison has accessed his brain. Otherwise, there are ways of doing it sort of ritually, but those can have damage to the person. They might not be the same when they come out the other side, you know?
Yes, it appears we'll definitely have to get some potions to heal this man.
Now begins my arc of becoming a necromancer and raising him from the dead.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, you guys enter the kitchen, and you may speak. Boom.
Shit, I'll do another investigation check once I enter the room. Again,
Alright.
I'll be looking for... I guess I'll be looking at the window. See what's what.
What's the roll going to be for the box, too?
Investigation.
5.
Yeah, I mean, with the roll, yeah, someone definitely opened this window recently. Within the last 10 hours.
That's a 14 for finding the box.
Yeah, you look around the room, the box is missing.
Ooh. I look over to Orc Boy
Did I?
and
Off.
say, did you see where the box went, perhaps, or no?
No, it was here when we left. Yes. Yes, sussy baka.
Take your notes that you need to for next time, because this mission will definitely continue.
Yeah.
But as you guys sort of think about where the box went, how all this adds up, what does Skeekers have to do with the bigger goings-ons in the city, we sort of fade out, and we see the time card in the corner say 1 week prior. And somewhere in the vast darkness of space and time, a voice is heard echoing out for an eon. Hey man, let me help you out. And the dust in the air makes it hard to see what exactly we're trying to be shown, but we all feel the heat of a flame. Another voice can be heard. My ship, I need... Before the loud sound of metal moving and the silver sand like ground falling in on itself, a small crashed spacecraft nearby begins to fall deep within the earth itself. An orange-skinned hobgoblin in a cloak rushes forward to save the body of this creature he has never seen before as it begins to fall with the craft. He runs along the edge of the open chasm, and he barely grabs on to the scaly arm. A bird's-eye view of this event now reveals 4 lights that appear over a hill as the sounds of motor vehicles can be heard. The hobgoblin struggles to drag this lizard-like folk up and out of his impending doom. As these buggies parked, 4 figures leap off, make their way over to the scene. The hobgoblin pulls hard again, more exclaiming, There was a ship crashed. This is the only survivor, I think. One of the approaching figures interrupts. This was the only survivor? Yeah, some kind of escape pod. The figures, now more visible despite being blasted from behind by the light of their bikes, can be seen wearing helmets, goggles, and basic bulletproof attire. They all look at each other for a moment before the body of the survivor begins to glow with some kind of magic energy. "What the?" they can all be heard saying before a fire explosion consumes two of the helmeted bikers, melting them where they stand. The hobgoblin quickly drops the body and hits the ground, covering his head as an explosion once again throws him back, and he hits the ground harder than he expected. As he opens his eyes, he finds himself dazed, though he can barely make out the words. "Grab the artifact. We gotta get back to base." "What about the hobgoblin?" Fine. Load that thing on your bike and go. I'll take care of this guy." And that is the last thing we hear as the hobgoblin passes out. And that's where we're going to end today's episode. Thanks for playing.
That was
The plan
good,
all coming together.
it's a good Scooby-Doo mystery.
Hopefully next time we have the full party and you guys can crack the case. Do you guys have any theories on what exactly is going on?
What's going on is I'm going to take all that guy's magical shit and unframe him.
What's going on is Hydrox Cookie Factory is starting to corrupt the galaxy.
Part of me wants to investigate Mr. Firefist, like his background, to see like what would motivate someone to want to do this, or if like he is just kind of a piece of shit. Because like, you know, I got kind of special treatment because like, oh, this Broom guy, he's the shit. You gotta give him props or whatever the people in this town now are all on because of putting out the fires in 2 buildings for some reason. Still funny as hell, but like, I don't know, maybe he's an asshole to other people, and that would motivate. And we kind of saw that with this kid, even if this kid was kind of a bitch too, to be honest.
That would be a good thing to investigate. A lot of questions.